Ding! Welcome to the Facebook Live Q&A with the owners. I'm Shane.
We're missing Will.
We're missing Will.
Yeah.
We got my brother Sean, and we're going to answer some questions live. And I'm in a tank. This is crazy. And actually, this tank feels a lot bigger. Like, you can, for getting up and out, it's like a lot of space. The door's big. It's all good.
Very
I just love this tank, I guess I should say. So where do we start?
All right. We have some questions lined up for everyone. And if you guys have questions that are watching, comment. That's what we brought these guys here for. And also, if you don't catch this live, we'll still be monitoring it. So keep asking questions.
Oh yeah, good point.
But first question, what is new about this tank?
Nothing.
Nothing new.
My favorite part is it's inflatable. So like, there's no rigid structure. There's no stainless steel frame. It's all inflated. I can set this thing up in like 5 minutes with a hand pump, and it turns into an absolute rigid tank that you could. I don't know if you've seen the video, but you can like sit on this thing. Like I can sit on top of the pyramid and it will hold me up. It's like a rigid wall.
Yeah.
But
the doors.
With a door, yeah.
Huge.
Yeah,
having that rigid door.
It's awesome.
It's sturdy.
Yeah, we don't have the poles with the floppy
flaps. Yeah, seriously.
The
flaps are a
flaps.
big deal. What else? There's a lot new. We got
Randall
the
says
insulated
hi.
ground too. You can't see it, but the floor is insulated, so you don't have to worry about getting losing temperature as fast. It keeps temperature up way better.
Yeah.
Randall says hello.
What's up, Randall?
What's up, Randall?
Yeah, give us shout outs where you're watching from.
Do you look like a
The
sugar
other thing,
donut?
it's totally enclosed.
Yeah.
There's no flaps. There's no cover to go over the top. There's no little nooks and crannies that have to be cleaned.
Dude, it makes for a way. I just like the float better because, like you're saying, the flaps don't stick in at all. You don't have to worry about touching anything. It's all solid right to the edge.
Yeah. Aubrey says hi.
What's up, Aubrey?
What's up? And talk about the inflatable, the drop stitch material.
Yeah, this is cool. So if you've ever seen like an inflatable paddleboard, it's the same tech. So inflatable sounds cheap or sounds like you'd pump up like a pool raft. It's not like that at all. It's the way it's done. It's all connected internally. So when you inflate it, it inflates to the exact shape it's supposed to be. So it's not like a big puffy round wall. They're actually straight, rigid, flat walls. Everything's rigid. So the technology is super cool.
Yeah, there's yarn going between the walls from one side to the other through the whole thing, holding it together.
How thick?
Keeps a perfect shape.
Yeah.
Do we have the exact depth?
I don't know. It's in millimeters, and I'm not good with millimeters.
It feels like 3 inches.
Yeah, it's pretty close to 3 inches.
It feels like 3 inches.
Yeah.
And that's all the way around, including the ground. Like I'm 3 inches off the ground. And it insulates it like crazy. I mean, every surface is insulated, including the door panel. So we're talking, and what did we say, 40% efficiency? But
at least, yeah.
I bet more. In fact, when we tested, it was more.
Yeah.
But we went conservative.
Ellen is watching.
What's up, Ellen?
Hey, Ellen.
Ellen's our homegirl.
Yeah, Ellen, man.
She's on every one.
Every live.
Seriously.
I love watching the comments.
Number one supporter.
Okay, we have a question really quick. Daniel says, do they come with the purple light inside, or is that just your preference?
Funny story. This is actually a grow light that we used for trying to save a plant in the office. The plant died, but now we use the light just for this, and so it doesn't come with a light. But here's the cool thing. So I don't know if you can you see this? Oh, you can't see this. There's D-rings all throughout the tank, so you could easily hang lights. Like we're hanging this light from a D-ring up on top of the tank. We put D-rings everywhere so that it's super flexible, so you could hang anything. You could hang a water bottle, you could hang a towel, you could hang a light. We want it to be really custom for whoever buys them to make it how they want it. So it doesn't come with a light, but you could rig up a light.
We've talked about developing something. That's why we put these D-rings in, is so that we could, put some accessories in the tank.
Seriously, and it'd be cool to come out of a float to a light. So it could be something we could do in the future.
Yeah, totally.
Ellen says she loves the tank. And then Rocio says hello.
What's up, Rocio?
Rocio.
So talk about what's similar, the filtration and heater pads.
Yeah, you want to take it?
Yeah, the heating pads are the exact same heating pads, which you know, they stay on during your float, so you know you can float for a long time with these heating pads.
For as long as you want.
Yeah, because you're not heating the water. You're, you know, outside of the tank.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just float however long you want, and the heater pads keep going.
Yeah, like a lot of commercial tanks, like they'll start pulling the water out and heating it after the float and get it up to temp. This is just radiant, always on heating. So you
Yeah.
can spend the night in here.
Yeah. The filtration is the exact same. You know, we've upgraded that over the last year, right?
Yeah, we've got water now that we send out in 2 different places, and we've got. Tell them about the hose too.
Yeah, we have the PTFE hose, which doesn't get the growth on it, the biological growth. And then we changed. We used to have pockets that our pipes ran through, which kind of created an area where growth could happen, and you'd have to clean it, and it was hard to clean.
Yeah.
We went with D-rings on this one, so that there's no, you know, we tried to get away from all the nooks and crannies for cleaning, make this, you know, really easy to maintain.
When we say one pocket in the video or one piece, what we're saying is that the entire water enclosed area is one piece. So there's not like a cover in a tub. This is, I mean, it's one piece all the way through the ground, all the way around, so you can clean it. It's all one surface.
Yeah.
No hidden anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if you dare pick up the tripod, but I could show them the filtration.
You want me to?
I think you could pull it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
Alright, so, do you see any of this?
Yeah, I can see the hose, and we got.
So we put D-rings all around kind of where we run the water line, but instead of committing to like the sleeves, we just, it's like I said, it's a D-ring, and then we've zip tied these to the side. But it's super flexible. So you notice we have D-rings up here, we have a D-ring up here, we have D-rings everywhere, because what we find is people want to customize their tank. They want to put whatever they want in it. So it's just a way more flexible design. And look how nice the hose rides the wall. It makes it way out of the way. I just barely floated. It was super still. I didn't bump anything. I didn't notice. There was nothing around it.
I think we're adding even more D-rings, aren't we? This is a prototype, and we're going to add a few more D-rings in different places.
Some back rings and
Yeah.
Another thing that's cool is this. I'll show one last thing.
Okay.
So we had to get the power cords into the tank. We used a neoprene sock. On the outside of this sock, there's a flap that covers it, but the whole point is being light proof, and the cords come through a neoprene sock, and then the outside flap closes, and it's totally light proof. We've got our same mushroom cap, no light design for the air, and it's slick. I mean, I love
We also designed that way so that we could expand to commercial filtration,
Yeah.
you know, and get a higher grade filtration systems that are external.
We've had people hit us up for external cleaning and that sort of thing. You could pipe in through there.
Yeah.
So it's super flexible.
And not have water, you know, escape the
Yeah.
tank.
I feel like a salesman, but I love this tank. Just love it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Okay, we have a question. Aubrey says, curious about condensation if there is a light on the top ridge. So if he adds his own light, will there be more condensation? Will it be an issue with the light?
I thought condensation was a temperature differential.
It is.
So I don't think an LED light would do anything.
Okay.
No, but as far as like a waterproof light, you'd still want something that's weatherproof because
Absolutely.
there is condensation in there.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Talk a little bit more about condensation and the pyramid shape.
Yes. You can take it if you want.
Yeah, so on this model, we actually built it taller, which then allows a steeper wall for the condensation to flow down so that it's not dripping on you during your flow.
It's rolling right now.
Yeah.
Rolls right all the way from the top down to the bottom. How tall is this?
I can't remember.
I think it's almost
I can't remember
5.5.
We measured
Yeah.
6'2".
It's 6'2"?
6 foot.
Because it feels taller.
Yeah.
I didn't used to be able to do like this.
Yeah.
And it's a lot steeper wall design than the original Zen Float Tank.
Drips are a big deal. If you've ever had a drip hit you, especially in the face during a float, it's a big problem. So that's one of the reasons we push the steep design so much.
Yeah.
I feel like a 5-year-old like me.
Do you want to talk about Kickstarter pricing a little bit, or just touch on Kickstarter?
Sure. So what we did is we had such a big success 4 years ago with our original Kickstarter that we kind of just structured it the same as far as earliest bird, early bird, and then we have to go in order because if we're going to produce a lot of tanks, it's kind of like first to ship, second to ship, and so on. But we ran this Kickstarter longer because we just wanted to be sure to hit it, because if we don't reach our goal, we can't produce this tank. So that's why we're so big on asking for support. We did the thunderclap. We had a huge first day, but this is going to be expensive to make. I forget our minimum quantity order, but it was expensive.
Yeah.
Like we're even borrowing money if we hit our goal.
Yeah.
So it's a big deal. We need the support bad.
Yep.
I don't know what the point was, but right now on the Kickstarter you are buying a heavily discounted tank.
Yeah.
So now's the time, because it's going to be a retail price at the end of the Kickstarter. Or yeah, that's the word.
Okay, we have a couple of questions really fast. Shwana says, hi, how long is the float time? So I'm not really sure if she means how long can you float in the tank, or...
Yeah, we could hit that.
Yeah, so just...
Yeah, so like we were talking earlier, it's radiant heating, so there's radiant heating pads under this float tank. They're always on, even when I'm floating. So the only thing you turn off when you float is the filtration. There's a little light and a little noise. You turn it off, you hop into your float, and with the radiant heating, the water will stay the same temp, and you can float as long as you want. You could spend a day in here, and it's going to be totally good. Whereas some tanks, when you're floating, there's no heating, and it is limited. You're going to drop maybe a degree an hour or so. Yeah. So I hope that answers what she's talking about.
Yeah, one thing also on those heaters, they're right underneath the floor of the tank, not underneath the floor of the base.
Good point.
So
you can feel the heat.
You're maximizing the heat on there. It's not being insulated by that space.
We used to have people put I don't know why I'm moving so much, but we used to have people put these tanks in their basement on really cold floors, and we would tell them to put insulation under their tank to reduce losing heat. This tank is sitting on an air layer, so it holds temperature great.
Yeah.
Okay. Carrie says, is 6'2" the exterior measurement or interior?
Exterior, I believe.
I would bet exterior.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're probably about 3 inches under that.
Yeah.
But
3 or 4 inches. That's to the very top of the...
I'm 6 feet tall. I can stand up if you want to just lift the tripod. 6 feet?
Yeah, so you're on that 3-inch base also.
Oh, yeah,
It's probably a 4-inch base with the heaters.
Yeah.
So it's actually like, I don't know, what, 5'8", maybe 5'10"?
I would bet that.
Inside.
That'd be my bet, for sure.
Okay. Rosia says, I love the financing through PayPal. Can it be added to the Kickstarter as an option?
I don't think that
Kickstarter doesn't allow that.
No, Kickstarter's pretty rigid with how you pay.
But you can give us a call, and we can work something out.
Yeah, honestly, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can work something out, but we still have to fund on Kickstarter. So we want to pipe the money through Kickstarter. But if you need something, we can work with you. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Jamie just said, hey guys.
What's up, Jamie? Our Jamie?
Yeah.
Cool.
Happy belated.
Yeah. Happy belated.
Carrie said thank you. That answered her question. So
good.
She can't wait to get in.
So what about for previous Zen tent owners?
This is cool.
There an option?
Go for it.
Okay, cool. So, like we were talking, the pads, the heating pads in this are the same. The control system's the same. The filtration's the same. It's the upgraded filtration. So, with our previous owners, we wanted them to be able to buy the upgrade, which is pretty much the shell, the floor, the tank. When they get it, they're going to throw all their components onto their new tank, and we have an upgrade option on the Kickstarter. So.
Yeah.
You should be good. But you'll notice that I think we labeled it really obvious.
Oh yeah.
Do not buy this unless you already own a tent.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And there's still I think there's still 18 or 19 of those ones left, the discounted ones. I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe so. I think there's 19 left.
19?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Last I looked.
We have a question really quick. Daniel said, how's airflow for longer floats? And he said, if we bought the tent only option, will we be able to combine salt with shipping the tent?
What was the first question? I'll take that
So
right.
how is the airflow during longer floats?
Airflow's good. It reminds me just of the old tent. Like you can tell fresh air is coming in.
Okay.
We could add that. we could add that to our Kickstarter. Add a package for the upgrades with salt.
Bam. Okay, that was the question. Okay.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah, that was
salt.
the second part.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's saying he wants to buy a salt and an upgrade.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll add that.
What was his name?
Daniel.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. That's a good idea.
Keep an eye on our Kickstarter. And then Ellen said I'd worry about my kitty's claws.
This is actually like the second or third person to bring that up.
Kitty claws.
Yeah.
This is. I've watched online. So this is like the inflatable kayak. I've watched them online take claw hammers to this stuff, and it doesn't pop. Am I saying take a claw hammer to your tank? No. But like I doubt a kitty claw could get through this.
Yeah, I mean they use them on the kayaks where they're hitting twigs.
A lot of stuff.
You know, they're hitting rocks. It's a thick material. It's a really thick vinyl material.
Have you seen the videos? They drive like cars on these
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
It's pretty impressive. But like, okay, so could a kitty puncture it?
I don't have a cat, so I really don't know what their claws are like. But if it did puncture it, you would lose air. You wouldn't lose water.
Yep.
And you would be able to patch it and blow it up again. And I don't know. I mean,
when we were setting up doing the shooting for the Kickstarter video, we would have all the walls but one, and we'd leave one deflated because we were setting up, and it would still hold its shape. So I don't think the cat's gonna like drop your tank or drop the water. You just might lose a wall, and then you're. I don't even think a cat could puncture this, but
I really don't
I
think
can't
so.
give a
but-
cat guarantee, but it would be hard.
Yeah, I don't have a cat, so I really don't know
You're
how
gonna need to
strong
get a
the
cat.
claws are.
Let's do cat testing live next week. We'll
All right.
bring a bunch of cats in.
Martin says I'm worried if my floor can support the weight. Any input on that?
You know that one pretty good.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things where if you don't know, get somebody who does to come in and take a look at it. You know, a contractor or engineer or something.
What
We don't want any problems.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want you to have any problems. It's what 2,200 pounds, I believe.
If I remember right, we fit new building code in the U.S.
Yeah,
But
yes.
it was early building code that we were unsure of.
Yeah,
I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah, and I've read where you know you keep them closer to the walls because that's where your best support is in your room, so that you're not out in the middle of the room.
What was the water weight amount? We've calculated a bunch.
Well, I think that everything together is right around 2,200.
2,200 and a footprint of safely 8x4. The weight.
Yeah, it's distributed over that much. I don't know what that works out to per square foot, but I know that the newer building code called for, you know,
We were good.
Yeah.
New code.
yeah, for newer code we were, and I can't remember what that was. I think that was a code in the 80s or 70s or something like that.
Yeah. That sounds right. My last place was built in the 90s, and it was for sure good. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
Ellen just threw a suggestion and said if you own your house, you can add a floor jack for strength.
that's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you could always do that.
Okay, so Martin also asked any bad previous stories about floor breaking with the previous model.
I've
haven't
never
heard of it.
I've never heard of
I
it.
never heard of
No,
any
we
story.
had a lot of people that were concerned, but I've never heard of any problems.
I have no floor. I haven't heard one.
No. Mike said, "How are sound levels inside?"
I think they're better actually. I think the air wall helps better. But what remember? Oh, so this is a good one. So we did a live where we tested sound. Can we post a link to that?
Mm-hmm.
So what you hear in a float tank, and this is any tank. This is not like a float tent or a float tank thing. This is any center, any commercial tank. You hear the deep thuds. You hear a giant engine or a motor, or you hear the deep stuff. Any float tank's going to have that. But as far as the high pitched stuff, I would bet this cuts it out more. But I don't know. We should do that same sound test on this. Oh, let's post a link and then get people to watch that noise link. It's surprising what you don't hear in a float tank.
Yeah,
Like someone can be talking right next to in the same room and you can't even hear.
yeah, it's a really low pitch.
It's those boom.
Yeah.
Just like thud. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, good point. When he just mentioned earplugs help too. If you have any if you're hearing high pitch sounds get through, that'll cut that out.
Yeah, I use earplugs anyway, just so I don't get salt in my ears.
I'm a naturalist. I go no plugs.
Really?
And then I have to like spray the shower in my ear, which sucks, but it's...
I just don't like the salt. I'm digging out salt all day long if I don't wear plugs.
Yeah, if you don't wear plugs, rinse your ears out, or all day long when you yawn, it sounds like there's like sounds weird.
Okay, Adriana says, can you use this commercially?
It's not, the filtration's not designed for commercial use.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way to answer.
Okay. Jamie said, you guys forgot to mention he came up with a brilliant name for the tank.
Jamie did. We were trying to come up with a, because it was the improved float tank, and Jamie's like, let's just call it the float tank. And that was beautiful. Has anything ever like been approved by all of us at the same time in 1 minute?
No,
Ever?
not like that.
Nice
That
job,
was a good one.
Jamie.
Okay, we have a few questions. So, Aubrey said, is there a size or weight limit for the person who is floating?
I've heard this before. Like, will I touch bottom? They even have commercial center stuff where they say you won't have a problem. I don't. If you got 10 inches of water, I don't think anyone touches.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I've never heard of a person being too big to float.
yeah. Well, and with this design, you could actually go more than 10 inches.
Yeah.
You know, you're adding weight to it, but
You have to add some salt, but
yeah, you have to add some salt and some water, but you could go higher because it's totally enclosed. We don't have a tub anymore.
yeah. Didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
salt all the way up to this, which is like
Yeah.
16. You
Okay.
couldn't go 16, but you could go more. I don't think there's a problem of being too big to float. Unless you're wider than a float tank, which is 4 feet or taller. I think that would be.
Maybe really tall. Like,
You have to be real tall.
yeah.
How,
Because it's what, 8 feet inside?
yeah.
8 feet inside dimensions.
Yeah. I'm 6 foot. There's tons of space. And I'm 6 foot tall, which is not bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Christian said, looks great and no drips is something that will make me upgrade at some point in the future. So
Cool, man.
that's good. James said, I'm new to the video. What's the price?
What's the current price right now? Because on Kickstarter, we severely reduced them, and then the discount is less and less as we go on. But right now, they're pretty severely discounted.
2,800.
28,
There's
so we're
8
at.
left.
and retail will be 35 when the Kickstarter's over. So like now is the time for sure, man.
Okay. And then Mike just said, good job, guys. Keep it up.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, this has been a lot of hard work. We've learned a lot of stuff the hard way too. So
Yeah, we've developed this over, what, 2 years?
yeah,
It's been over 2 years that we've been developing this tank.
we tank. We prototyped it a bunch, and it's just dialed. I really am honest when I say this. I love this tank.
Yeah.
It feels great.
Which countries do we ship to? And what if people don't live in those countries?
Right now, our Kickstarter is set up for Canada, the UK, and Australia. But if you're out of those countries, just reach out to us. We'll see what we can do. Of course, we got to raise the money on Kickstarter, but it's possible that we could get you a custom shipping thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other questions or?
Kevin says hello.
Hey, Kevin.
What's up, Kev?
Hey, what's today?
The 20th?
Oh yeah, the float conference. It's 420.
Yeah.
The float conference.
Nice,
The
man.
float conference starts today. There's a new float conference out right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called Rise, I think.
Oh, we should be there.
I know. But, so shout out to anyone watching who's at the Rise conference. I think it started today.
Awesome.
Okay, Kevin just has a quick question. Are there speakers installed?
No.
No, we do have underwater headphones, so that's a good option. That's it.
Anything
That's
else?
it.
That's it?
Let's talk about Monday. Monday we're doing a float live. I'm just gonna go through the process of getting in, floating, showing, getting out, the basics. We'll get on Kickstarter live as well. What time's that at? We don't know yet, but it'll be in the morning, I bet you.
TBD.
So yeah, to be determined. Monday
We'll
morning
announce it Sunday.
we'll float live.
Okay, James says, is it dangerous to fall asleep inside?
No, I almost fell asleep. I floated right before this video, and I almost fell asleep. I fell asleep the one before it. Float centers address this all the time. I think even falling asleep, it's hard to roll over.
I've fallen asleep a lot. And
I don't think you can. Like I could try and roll over on video, but it's hard. Like,
yeah. Well, and also, I think if you did roll over, the salt in your eyes would wake you up.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah, that's...
yeah, you would not stay.
Because it would leak into your eyes and it would wake you up.
It would definitely wake you.
Aaron Wolf.
Aaron, what's up, man?
He says he loves the headphones. He's obsessed with them. He makes the float even better.
Cool, man.
And then Vince says, do you plan on continuing to improve the design for future models?
think we always want to improve, but
Yeah.
right now there's nothing on the drawing board.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll do upgrade and
Yeah.
improvements. It's just our nature
Yeah,
as a
I
company.
think we've just been so focused on this one for the last couple of years.
It has been, honestly, it's been quite a endeavor to get this out. So I really hope the Kickstarter makes it. It looks good as of now. But if you can share, tell people about it. If you can find a buddy, you can save even more money on the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
And we even have a 4-tank deal, so
that is a screaming deal.
it
that
is
buddy
a screaming
package.
deal. Just find a buddy, and you'll save. I don't remember the percentage. It was a lot.
Yeah, I think it was the cheapest. It was the best value.
Yeah.
Jamie said we're currently at 62% on Kickstarter, so
Yes.
make sure to share with your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need the help. Really, if we don't fund, this won't be produced, and we'll be back to the drawing board. I guess.
Well, and I want to knock it out of the park. I mean,
Me too.
I'd like floating to become like huge.
Me too. It
you
needs
know?
to be.
It needs to be. Yeah.
It's saving lives in so many ways with chronic pain and anxiety, PTSD, overall wellness. I mean, these tanks are so powerful. So this can help so many people get floating.
It does help so many people every day, and so it'd just be cool to get that
Big time.
knock it out of the park and get a lot of people looking and saying, "What's that?"
Let's do it. Let's get 100 of these out. That'd be awesome. So thanks for watching, guys. I guess we will see you Monday morning, maybe to be determined. Cool.
Yep, we'll be back Monday.
Adios.
All right.
Have a good day, guys.